are not complete. It's a conveyor belt. They are given to one Kimani Ichung'wah, who has a very acerbic mind, and his work is to make them as acidic and as nationally divisive as possible. So he has to take the notes from Moses Kuria that was written in the height of his happiness at night and add nationally divisive words like we against them, invading these, and then he has to add Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to those notes. And then once he's done doing that,
yes,
it goes to their chief government promulgator, a guy called Dede Nyoro, whose work is to shout everything. That guy doesn't understand the meaning of a microphone, so he goes and starts shouting on top of cars. He shouts very loudly even when microphones are working. And that's why we do not have an official government spokesperson in this country, because the notes have to come from Moses Kuria. They have to be given to Kimani Ichung'wah to make them very nationally divisive and to make them acerbic and unacceptable to Kenyans, and very, 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 I don't know what goes on in his mind when he's doing that. And then now Dende Nyoro, because he's the one who's got the loudest mouth, is given to go on top of a Land Cruiser and shout on top of the Land Cruiser in as much as microphones are working. That is how the Kenya Kwanza administration is operating. They are not using this constitution. It is you who is imagining that there is a constitution that is being followed. They started by suspending chapter 6 of the constitution. Anything from article 93, 97 is not in use, because the people who are in Kenya Kwanza administration to start with are people who had very many cases in court. And the first thing that happened, we know there is up, but there is no bottom. All the cases of the people who are up there were suspended. There was a nolle prosequi. It became that their cases are no longer cases. And then the cases of those who are at the bottom, we never heard of a chicken seller or somebody who is a kinyozi whose case was dismissed from the courts. It's only the cases of those who are rich and powerful and mighty and cabinet secretaries. And I'm glad the president has realized that he made a bad choice. He has, those are things I said on TV here. He has come and he has told us, I chose the wrong ministers. They have no idea what's going on in their ministries. They have no idea what they are doing. I know more about their ministries than they know. They are busy going on international trips and they are not coming to Wanjiko, the bottom, to ask what is happening. There is only up. So now you are thinking that such an administration would even understand the meaning of bipartisan talks. Where would they start? But bipartisan talks don't fall within the ambit of their conveyor belt, as I have explained to you how those notes are done in the course of the night when someone has taken a lot of milk. So I think we need to start understanding first the administration.
Yes.
That we have an administration that is horrid in every sense of the word. And the things they do are governed by a very unorthodox way of thinking. So you're expecting to get good results from them. It's not going to happen. And that's why when they were told to form a committee, they took a member of Jubilee and said, this member of Jubilee is representing us. Yet one of the issues on discussion was, we don't want you raiding political parties and giving our people money and buying them and saying that they are part of the Kenya Kwanza administration. So we have people who were not interested in having talks in the first place. They were happy with using Moses Kuria's notes in place of the constitution, and they have been doing it and they'll continue doing it. And that's why when the finance bill, the court says do not, when they had created a suspension of that bill until the matter is heard and determined, we were still paying petrol at a price that was not supposed to have been the price during the existence of that order from the court that
yes,
we should not be paying petrol for that amount of money.
Yes.
So you are imagining that this administration respects the rule of law, and that's where you go wrong. You should start by knowing that we have an administration that is not using the 2010 constitution. Let's start there. And you have an administration of ministers who have no idea what they are doing 9 months. Now, the only person who has tried to show us that he has an idea of what he's doing is the Minister for Education. And you know, Professor Magoha must have been somebody who wore shoe maybe number 10, 12, or 13. And then now we have Mashogu who wears shoe number 3 or 4. And he's trying to fit in those shoes. You know, it's like a baby when you put shoes outside the door there. And the baby comes and tries to walk in those shoes. Atazunguka hapo inje akwambia, Daddy, I'm walking in your shoes. And that's the farthest he can go. He'll put them back and put his small bubblegummers and go to where he goes to play on the bouncing castle. We have a huge mismatch. You cannot remove Professor Magoha
yes,
and put Mashogu and expect the Ministry of Education to run. Now what they are saying is that in the most fantastic of ideas that we've had from him, about changing the education sector is that he's going to stop calling junior secondary, remove the word secondary. Hey, big achievement. Then he says we are going to do something else fantastic that is Mashogu-like. We are going to stop calling schools national, county, extra county. They are national. Alliance is national, is national. Everything about Alliance is national. You cannot take that away from them. They represent the face of this country. They are not like Nakimincha Secondary School, which only take the people from that locality. It is a national school, whether you like it or not. So now you've taken the Mashogus of this world to represent and replace the Professor Magohas of this world. May he rest in peace. And you're wondering why government is not moving and why things are not working. Until this president decides to wake up and realize the animals, animals, live human beings, animals, will never let the most foolish animal lead them. The bell on the bull of the Maasai is put on the most intelligent bull. When they look for the goat, they look for the most intelligent goat, and they put a bell on it, and all the other animals follow it to the grazing lands because it's been grazing for years. Now we've taken the animal that doesn't even know where the pastures are and where the river is, and we've put a bell on it, and we're wondering why the cows are coming back home thirsty in the evening. This administration has taken the list of qualified people, the list of able people, the list of intelligent of people, and made them the head of this nation. And then we are discussing all these other things. If you want this country to move forward, start by first dissolving that cabinet. Seriously, completely, all of it. Maybe you leave Kindiki. And then now you start by asking, by the way, who was left who has a good brain? And where do we appoint them? Then we can start. But as we are right now, and then first you tell us your cabinet is not working. And then you go ahead to give them performance contracts for another 4 years. To do what? Not work.
On the basis